Yep. What going on? It's your boy Josh, Same Difference Podcast, back again. And we have family here. We have a wonderful philanthropist, teacher, educator. She is a activist, a community leader. She's all these things, a revolutionary, community troublemaker, but good trouble. We got her in the background, backstage. She's waiting, and she can't wait to tell you about her upcoming choreo poem. I've never heard of that. I'm not in drama. I don't teach it. Never been in. But she's gonna tell us a little bit about what a choreo poem is. It's gonna be performed for the Caribbean Community Theater. It's called "For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough." We're gonna go into it because she got some upcoming show dates. They're working very hard, very proud of what they've done, and they can't wait to show it to you. But you know what we gotta do first? We gotta hit you with that beautiful bean footage. We'll be right back with you. There she is, the beautiful, the super educated, super motivated, super inspiring. She does it all, the phenomenal woman herself, Sayeeda Carter.
Ja, you are too good. I'll send you
You'll
the
send me to her?
disgust. Yes, thank
Can
you for
you?
having me on.
Of course, of course. You know, you're always welcome here. We love having you. Miss She Dread Simmons is also welcome. I know that's your sparry too. She need can't wait for 2 hours to come back on. But everybody's fetting. We are in the last lap of the Crucian Festival in St. Croix. And I know it's reggae night. People excited to see Sizzla. I know you one of them, so we ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We ain't gonna hold you, Rasta. So, for people who do not know who you are, can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Sure. I am an educator here on St. Croix. I teach at the St. Croix Educational Complex. I teach drama, I teach speech, and sometimes I even teach like ninth grade English, but speech and drama are definitely my favorites. I also do a lot of stuff in the community around theater. I do stuff at the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts. I do stuff at the Caribbean Community Theater in Orange Grove. So I like to consider myself a creative. I'm a director. I'm also an actor. And I have a small theater company called Act Out Ensemble. And we're going to be picking back up as soon as For Color Girls is over. So, For Color Girls, I am doing at Caribbean Community Theater for 2 weekends, starting January 10th. And it goes Friday, Saturday at 8 p.m., and then Sunday at 4. And then the following weekend, January 17th, will be at it again for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and then the Sunday matinee. So Caribbean Community Theater, they usually get me at least once a year to direct something for them. And this time I'm doing one of my faves.
So, for those you, like me who probably will never remember those dates, don't worry. We'll put it in the comment section for you so you could go ahead and see the flyer and mark those dates in your calendar. Going off of
Okay.
what you said, that would make you a Renaissance woman, huh? With all that stuff that you do.
You know, African people, you know how we do.
Mm,
We definitely
yeah, 16 jobs.
know, Caribbean people. My dad says I don't know how to sit still. I'm gonna
Mm,
do a lot of sitting still in 2025. Don't worry.
okay.
I just had to get
I,
this off with a bang.
I'm praying for the sitting still for you because we all need relaxation. And I know you do a whole lot. Now, I'm going to pull up the flyer. for
Yeah.
you one more time. So can you tell us what is a choreo poem? I've never heard that phrase before.
Okay, so the woman that you're looking at on the flyer has passed away, but she is a beloved feminist and playwright. She's African American. She was from Trenton, New Jersey. She actually attended high school with my biological dad and my aunt. So I've met her. She was in my grandmother's house one Thanksgiving. And a choreo poem is a bunch of poems strung together. It's
Hmm.
performed by 7 different women, where they each have their individual pieces that are very monologue like. And then there's some pieces where they work together to tell a story. And it's a story of 7 Black women, the struggle, the hardship, the difficulty, what they go through. So many things. The Black woman is often called the mule of the world, right? We get a lot of stuff. We do a lot of heavy
Facts.
lifting. So this is an excellent poem. It came out in the 70s. So
Hmm.
it is nothing new, although there are some new pieces that were added to it in an updated version of it before Entisaki Shange's passing. And it's one of my favorite pieces of work. I acted in it twice when I was young enough to do so because it's
Come
like a
on.
coming of age story. It's
Okay.
really
Okay.
best performed by young women in their 20s,
Gotcha.
30s. Um, I am a little bit past that, but
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
so
Who
it's
could
a
tell? You know?
lovely piece.
Who
Yes,
could tell?
exactly. Thank you. Add into the check all the while.
So let me ask you this. I did not know that was an actual person. I'm over here thinking this is a stock photo you put on your flyer. So you
No, that's
actually
quite
knew
right.
her, and unfortunately she did pass away. So rest in peace. And you've met
Yes.
her.
Yeah, I came home to visit my grandparents in New Jersey one Thanksgiving from college at Georgetown. And I opened the door from the train. My aunt had picked me up, and I saw her sitting on my grandmother's couch. And I was like, Aunt Iris, that's Intisaki
Hmm.
Shange. She was like, oh, yeah, I went to high school with her.
Oh.
And I was like, "You've got to be kidding." Like, I was so in love with this woman and her writing and her creativity, and just definitely a hero of mine in my 20s. So to see her sitting in Edith Carter and William Carter's house one Thanksgiving, I knew at some point I would want to direct this work. And that
That's what's
point
up.
is January 10th.
January 10th.
Mhm.
Now, where did this name come from? Is that the name of the original poem? Because it's kind of long. What?
For
I
Color
it's
Girls. It's often belovedly known as For Color Girls. I don't know. Tyler Perry did a movie version of it.
yeah.
But this play is just 7 women that are known by their colors. So we've got Lady in Orange, Lady in Red, Lady in
Hmm.
Purple, Lady in Brown, Lady in Yellow, Lady in Green, Lady in Blue. And it's really a composite of the larger Black woman in America, like 2025 and beyond. I want to do a lot more of Caribbean literature,
Okay.
Caribbean plays. But this is definitely a stock African American play. If you're a Black actor in the US, you've definitely heard of this, been in this, done a monologue for it. It was exceedingly popular. And it's
That's
happened
what's up.
on St. Croix at least twice in the 90s.
The part where it says where the rainbow is enough, I think is what it is. Where so is it a conjoining of multiple names from for different plays or
No, it's one piece, but
hmm
each woman has their individual story. So,
Okay.
gang hard cad. You know how that'll do we boy. They
Bust
had
chest, as they call it. Yeah.
bust
Hmm.
chest, having to decide about aborting a baby, having to be
Mm.
in a relationship with a violent, mentally ill man. Um, it's so many things in this play. Like, I want the entire community to come out, but I especially want Black young women on St. Croix to see this work, like my former students in their 20s, in their 30s. Um, CCT is an amazing institution. It's been around in St. Croix for 40 years, but there's still a lot of Crucians who have never seen a play at CCT. So I want to
Hmm.
work to get them out. And yes, yes, I definitely need to have former students come through, check it out, and see this work, because the 7 actresses that I got to do this, we've been working for about 7 weeks now. These women got going on.
Okay.
Ja, they are phenomenal. They've learned so many lines, let me tell you. They've learned these lines, they've built in the character. There's also a lot of music in the play. There's rich music between scenes, things like Archie Shepp, Oliver Lake,
Mm.
like old jazz, definitely Willie Colon, music from that time period. We've definitely sprinkled throughout. And I just
Dope.
cannot wait for St. Croix to enjoy for Colored Girls.
Now, with something so deep, right? Because clearly it's an emotional thing. It's not something funny, or I would think it's not comedic. It's very serious.
There's funny parts. There are funny
Yeah.
parts. But yes, I want to say there is trigger warnings. A character faced with, getting a disease from a partner, real things, things that
Mm.
happen every day. Like, and being in rehearsal with these women has made me want to write more, write our own stories as Crucians. What's going on in our community that can be turned into theatrical work to really, really tell that story of our life. She was telling the story of her time. So some
Mm.
people might feel like it's dated, but fast forward 2020, what are we, 5? The stuff is
2025.
still, it's
Relevant. Yeah.
unfortunately, it's still very relevant.
Now, with you are the director. As a director, and you're telling these stories, obviously, at least parts, bits resonate with you. Do you ever get emotional? Do you ever get drawn in and like kind of, lose like, hey, this is a play.
Let me tell
Come back.
you, I'm a Pisces.
An
I,
emotional wreck. If
I
no.
am. I'm an exceedingly emotional person.
Okay.
I can't help myself, right? So
Hmm.
I definitely see the actors, these women, or some people say actresses, I don't, they are bringing these characters to life. I have had to like stop and tell them, okay, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me gather myself, because the
Mm.
story, the writing is rich. And even though some of them hadn't acted before, some of them are very seasoned and have been in lots of pieces at CCT and other places. But from the least experienced to the most experienced, they holding this thing together in a way that is touching me every day. Like, I think I am an emotional wreck behind directing this. And it's making
Now,
me realize how much more work I have to do in this community using theater.
do you find that in our community, theater, drama, acting, the way that you get the word out, do you find it to be effective?
Definitely, let me tell you, it can be more effective. Like, I came home from New York after doing theater up there and teaching up there. And I was like, I have a gap to fill home, right? I
Hmm.
have a gap to
For sure.
fill. Theater is not just for our snowbird community, right? Or our newly new to St. Croix community. Like, it's for us. Theater, there used to be a lot more theater on St. Croix when I was young. And I was
Yeah.
like, I bringing it back, the man. And then I got myself hooked up with Kevin Molinar, K Factor, Georgie
Mm.
Cannon.
Dope.
Them days, my little
Yeah.
young
Blue
guys. I'm
tarp on
like,
them. Yeah.
listen, y'all
That's what's
gonna
up.
help me learn how to make film. I'm like, y'all are my like support system, because when they have a project, I will try to lean in and do some coaching of their actors. So the recent film over gun violence, I got a chance to coach some of their actors, and the new one that's going to happen this coming July, I'm going to coach some of their actors again. So this community is ready, it's primed and ready. And my personal work, yes, I'm doing this for Caribbean community theater, but my personal work is about how do you use theater to change society.
How do you gauge its effectiveness? Because it's on the stage, people are coming to watch it. How do you gauge whether it's reaching the
People
community?
give you feedback. People come up
Hmm.
to you after and were like, "Hey, the man that they move me, that they touch me, or that made me think about X, Y, or Z." So you're planting a seed. It doesn't happen, like overnight, right?
For sure. For sure.
I'm looking for somebody to buy the Good Hope school for me
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my
I seen that.
cohorts, right? Right? I have some cohorts, some people that if somebody hand us $1.8 million and give us Good Hope, there's going to be so many things happening there. So
Hmm.
we're
That
we're
would be
in the
beautiful.
we're putting
I
that
I
together.
know you guys could do something amazing with that. I just know, and even the place where it is. Oh,
Oh, that's a Irie place, that's like
yeah,
a
man. Very.
I'm definitely putting that out there. So if there's any, when you referred to me as a philanthropist, I thought, oh, I'm so touched. That is my goal. I would
So what you
become a
telling me? What you
philanthropist.
telling me? You ain't a philanthropist?
I'm a philanthropist in energy, but me
Hey,
no
ain't it
money.
just giving back? Ain't it just giving back to the community?
Yeah, but I need some dollars to run it right? Because then you got the
Uh
St.
huh.
Podcast studio
Yeah,
built up
yeah.
there, so children learn to do the work that you're doing. You got
That'd be
someone
awesome.
like a Summer Sibley Brown and a Nikki Schuster. You got good food there, children learning to farm. Like, we
Hmm.
have to invest in our children, Drip, and our young people, that opportunity age, that like
That,
14 to 24. If we don't
yeah.
lock those 10 years in, all is lost, Ja.
That's why I love shout out Blue Tar Productions and how they did the film over gun violence program and all of that. I'm
Hard.
so glad that they did that. That was amazing. And
These
we need
men
more of that
harder
for
than
sure.
hard. And Diana, yes, they are a great organization.
Got a question, Miss Carter. What advice would you give the youth to be an actress or actor and get to know the history of St. Croix?
So, we have, thank you, former student, so much talent, right? I think my main thing why I use theater is I want people to be more fearless, right? To know how to raise their voice, to not feel like they need to pull back or that what they're saying is not valuable. So, my advice is to look at good films, right? There are some great films out there that you can navigate and learn about. My other advice is you got to read, Dread. Like people who are doing amazing things in theater and playwriting, they want to be exposed. So you got to read old plays, new plays. You got to read novels that you may want to turn into a play. I mean, our history in St. Croix, look at us, right? We decided we wanted to be free and we made ourselves free. That's not a movie, Ja. That is not a movie. Where is
It
that
is
movie?
because we gotta do it. You can't wait for others to do it for you. We gotta do it.
We must do it. We must do it. And just not even your history, but who are you? Like, how did you get to be the person you are? Like, what do you want? What are your goals? There's so much things we can complain about, but 2025, you're going to hear me. I'm not complaining. I want to do the work and I
Yeah,
want to align with people who are doing the work. If I'm complaining, the work is not getting done.
true.
All that time I spend complaining, I could be typing a script. The next work I want to do after For Color Girls is over, these 2 weekends coming up in January,
Hmm.
the 10th and the 17th, is I want to do work around sexual assault and rape. This is a big problem in St. Croix. Trigger warning, okay?
It is a big problem, and it's so big that you get shunned for even saying the word. You can't even say the
We not
word. No, you gotta
care.
say
We not
SA.
care. We
Uh-huh.
not care. Essay, rape, whatever.
Yeah.
It's so prevalent. I've been devastated as people have told me stories of people that are in my circle and in my community and are serial rapists. And I'm like, that
Mm.
dude, I thought that was a safe dude. Like, how his family harboring him, how his family got he like that. Like, this man need to hold a jail thread. And then the young women who are afraid to say. I put out a few questions on my social media and I got flooded by
Yeah.
former students. Miss Carter, you don't know what happened to me. Can I share with you? Can I tell you? So as I read what they say, I immediately pick up the phone and I'm like, yo, that didn't deserve to happen to you. I want to invite you as a collaborative partner in the work I want to do. I want to be able to use your story somehow to tell people that it's not okay. Consent is a vibe, right?
Facts. Facts.
Consent is a vibe. So we got a lot to work on here. So I definitely want to do work around our history and I want to do work around releasing our trauma and bringing some joy. Joy is the way, my son.
Our community, it tends to be one of anger and violence. There's a lot of it built up, and me myself, I know because I didn't notice that it wasn't okay to just swing on somebody until I left the Virgin Islands and joined the Navy, and then it's like, oh, we get into an argument, I swing on you, we fight, and then it done. No, like you're not supposed to do that. So I saw a lot of things after I moved away that were not normal. You get what I'm
It's
saying?
about
So like,
communication. Like all theater, spoken word, poetry, journaling, writing, they enhance people's ability to communicate.
it
If we
does.
could communicate, we'll be so much better. So
But
much
that's usually the first thing that they remove. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll put sports over arts, they'll put everything over the arts and get rid of the arts program. Like it's just it's an elective. It's something that we might could have or might not. We don't need it. Why do you think that is?
I think it's misguided. I think we have a lot of fears around bringing these difficult conversations to light, Ja. Like people don't want to talk about these things. Yeah, that happened to me when I was young. You gonna get over it. Like, don't worry. Like, especially things around our trauma. how, we were raised in an atmosphere of violence. Like the other day, I literally, like, I had hit one of my daughters a couple months ago, and it fell into place. I said, I will never hit one of my children again.
Mm.
That's absurd that I just hit this child. I had an awakening aha moment. I immediately got a therapist for us. I immediately got into trying to figure out our relationship and what we need to work on. Me never hitting no child again. I vex I ever hit my children. I
And
don't
in our community,
common.
that's a hot button topic. Like
Yeah, you need to
you're
beat
talking
that
crazy
little
right now.
girl. You need to beat that little
You're
girl. That
talking
little girl
crazy.
rude.
Yeah. Hmm.
Rudeness makes she.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But
So
yeah, that's a
it's
hot
still
button topic
learning.
right there.
It's definitely that is a theater piece too, right?
Yeah,
The
it's
mother
true.
who comes to the realization that, hitting your children is not the move, not the way. I have so many things jumping in my mind, and as I start to transition out of my teaching career, moving
Hmm.
into being a full-time creative, right?
Awesome.
Within the next 2 years, that's the direction I want to be in. I mean, I'm
Congrats.
going to have the time for this. Right now, I'm
And I'm glad.
exhausted.
Dealing with other people badass kids. I get it. I get
And
it.
they're not. The thing is, a lot of the kids, when you
Well,
reason
you
with
can't say.
them, they need that reasonment. It's not to simplify that these badass kids. They need the reasonment. They need to hear you say, yo, I really want to talk to you about what you're doing. You're making a wrong move. Let's reason this out. Children are more
Hmm.
intelligent than we give them credit for.
Yeah. Especially this generation, they're a lot more emotionally intelligent than I think I was for sure.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this. So you can stop me if I'm wrong, because again, I've never done drama or acting class and none of that stuff.
I'm gonna get you
But
in something.
we gonna talk about that later. But so you said earlier that the arts, it helps you to be able to express yourself and communicate and stuff like that. You yourself, you teach speech and drama. I I agree with you because I know of some actors, right? I met a couple, and the way that they communicate is they'll be in their 20s, right? And they communicate so well. And I wonder if it's because you have to learn these emotions in order to express them to your audience. So you have no choice but to learn that and where it comes from and to step into it so you know how to communicate better. And you also know how to emote and express yourself emotionally better. Is that
I would say you're spot on with that. And it also, people who gravitate towards this are people who are sharers, who do want that. Some of them want the light to shine on them.
mm,
But, they see the value of it. But yeah, you've got to emote, you've got to share. We're so afraid to share. I don't understand what that's about. I think people don't want to be vulnerable, but
correct?
vulnerability is the way to go. Like, it gives you so much.
Vulnerability is the real nakedness if you think about it, though, because you're exposed. So it is a scary situation to be in. Again, especially in our community where, it's really, really looked down upon for, especially for men, to express themselves in a certain way. We really don't even learn how to express the full range of emotions outside of anger.
Yeah, you hear parents saying, "Stop your crying, you acting punky. What wrong with you? Did it?"
Exactly.
And I'm like, no, he's 4
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's upset, and crying is a natural reaction, right? So
True.
it's the arts, but it's also our mental health, it's
Hmm.
psychology, It's being open minded. It's also being more exposed. I had a very interesting upbringing. I was born in the States. I came to St. Croix as a small girl. Then, when I was a 13-year-old, I lived in West Africa. Like, I've had a really exciting life, and it makes me want to pull all the aspects of the diaspora together. Like, when I
Mm,
get out there, I want to go to the continent with VI teens. I want to bring teens from the continent to the States and to the VI. Like, I honestly believe we are one people,
we
and
are.
we were just dropped off at the various little landings during enslavement. But if
Hmm.
we saw ourselves as a continuum, they can't touch we dread.
Exactly.
The
But we
world,
can't seem to get there.
yeah, but
We
it's
can't seem to get
communication. Start communicating more. Share with people, talk with people. Tell them what's on your mind, what hurts you, what disturbed you. This play is such food for thought. I'm really excited to see who shows up, who comes out. I'm hoping Same Difference will pull some non-theater goers,
there.
who
All
might be
right.
about that fet life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but to come and watch a 90-minute play is something different, something unique, and something that you'll get hooked on, especially if
I
I
accept that
direct.
challenge. I accept that challenge from
Yeah,
you. I would love to assist in any way that we can. What I do ask from you is some maybe behind the scenes footage. Just some, you ain't got to edit nothing. Just
I'm sending
videos of
it.
what's going on, the rehearsals, whatever, so we could sell this thing.
I'm down. I'm send that
There you go.
when I wake up from Sizzler tomorrow morning.
There you go. So let's get into it one last time. Can you go ahead and tell us why you're here? What is it? What's going on?
I am here because I am the director of the Caribbean Community Theater's show coming up for color girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. This is a choreo poem by Entisaki Shange, directed by me, Sayeeda Carter. And we have 6 show dates: January 10th, 11th, and then a matinee on the 12th, and then January 17th, 18th, and then a matinee on the 19th. And come through. It's in Orange Grove on the street behind Pueblo, where there's all those different condos. You can hit me up on Facebook. Don't let the cost prohibit you from coming. If you need a strength, let me know. I'll try to get a ticket bought for someone. And it is suitable for children over 16. I'm sure my daughter will be there. She's 15, but you use your own discretion as a parent, because there are some trigger warnings. There are some serious things happening in this play. I think you're not with us volume wise.
All right. So this play is not all fun and games, but what it is necessary. So get out there, go see the play, support your people, and also because I write a little bit, I dabble in the writing. If me or others want to submit like a screenplay or something to you, how can we reach out?
I'm Sayeeda, Sayeeda .Carter at gmail.com. I also have an Act Out Ensemble Facebook page, and then I have my own Facebook page, which is just Sayeeda Carter. Yeah, let's do this.
All right.
Yep, that's me on Gmail. I'm really interested in collabing with people to tell our Caribbean stories. I'm moving away from the African American life, and
Mm,
I want to see what we got to say, being here on this beloved colony of ours.
there we go. So you know where to submit it. Plenty of pages to get in touch with her. Sayeeda Carter page, the Act Out Ensemble also, because she still got that going on. And go out and watch the show, man. Support, support, support. So, what are your final words? What do you want people to know? What do you want them to know before they go and see this show?
I think I was talking to She Dread Lindsay, and she
Lindsay,
said,
that's
like,
it.
people do not read, right? So for 2025, I'm begging my community, if you don't make it to see this play, order a copy of the book, right?
Mm,
We have to read again. Reading is going to open our minds to so much, and we have to communicate and we have to speak up when we are in distress and in pain. We have to find a trusted individual and come to them about whatever is heavy on our heart, because that is what's going to open us up to so much more beauty, joy, success, being comfortable, being excited. Like I hate to see people in pain because they don't know how to express themselves.
correct.
And I think theater, I'm available. I do private classes. I
Mm,
teach acting at the school, but if there were a group of people that wanted to come together and do some classes to get themselves comfortable, hit me up.
that's dope. Acting classes from a professional. There you go. Hey, there you go.
I write in the check.
Listen,
I write in the check.
listen. As for me, I just want to say support your people, support your community. With more people doing, we could do more. So for 2025, let's talk less and do more. Let that be the resolution. Let that be the vision. All right. This has been another great episode of Same Difference. What you got to say?
One quick thing that Toni
Mm-hmm.
Morrison said. One quick thing Toni Morrison said. This is my motto for 2025. Dream a little before you think.
Mm, there you go. I ain't got nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. All right, clips coming soon. Peace. We out.
Thank you.